Saxon Algebra 2. Lesson, are you ready? Drum roll, wait for it, 101. We're in it, we're in the triple digits for sure. I'm flipping for my, here we go. I'll just grab Jayla's assignment page. Lydia, yours looks exactly the same. I'm circling the lessons that I have posted as videos. So I just wanted to show all of this week and all of next week, and then we'll be to our midterm week. That will be the last partial week of March and then into April when we actually have the midterm. So I just wanted to give you perspective on our timeline here. We'll keep to this timeline even though the rest of our world is upside down. I still work for us, and I'll figure out exactly. But let's wait until we decide. Okay. Lesson 101 is super practical. It's from the world of business. It's about markups. It's about sales. It's about how retail businesses figure out how to price profit they're going to get. In order to understand this, you have to imagine yourself as the retailer. You're the person selling the things. We're used to being in the position of the customer, right? We're the people who are buying the things. If you keep that perspective, this will all be wildly. Think of yourself as the seller or retailer. That's the word that John often uses. If you're the person who owns the store, you're the person who's selling the stuff and trying to figure out what to charge them for, that will help you a lot in understanding this. The basic idea is that the selling price, the price that we, the store owners, put on it, is going to be equal to the purchase price. That means what we paid for it, plus the markup. And markup is the word for the extra money that we tag on to the amount that we paid for it in order to determine how much we sell it for. We have to charge enough to pay for salaries of our shopkeepers, rent for our building, the lights, the utilities, the hangers, the cleaning that has to happen in the store. All of our costs to sell have to be met in this number. Called the wholesale price. This is sometimes called retail. As we go through, if I see other words, I'll fit them into this really simple formula that we'll be using to do these problems. Let's dive in. Was $48. Okay, let's start a list. Selling price equals $48. If the markup was 20% of the purchase price, what was the purchase price? Okay, same format as we've used for so many other problems, you guys. We have an equation that has, in this case, 3 variables, but it has multiple variables. We're given 2 of the 3 and asked to solve for the 3rd. Okay. Now, markup is often expressed as a percentage of either the selling price or the purchase price. Okay, so markup can be a percentage of this or a percentage of that. We have to read the problem carefully and then set up the equation so that we're reflecting that the right way. So in this case, it says the selling price was $48. The markup is 20% of the purchase price. What is the purchase price? What is the markup? Okay, we want that in absolute dollars too. Okay, so selling price equal, let's just write it over again. Purchase price plus the markup. Our selling price is 48. We don't know our purchase price, but we know that our markup is 20%, 0.2 times the purchase price. Make sense? 20% of the purchase price, we write that as 0.2. Okay, now we can add these. This has an invisible 1 in front of it. 48 equals 1.2 times the purchase price. And then we divide both sides by 1.2. And I know that 12 goes into 48, but I want to do it this way to keep the decimal straight. I have to jump it once, so then I have to jump this once. I put in a 0, and then I take the decimal point straight up. Okay, that helps me. 4 goes here because I want the 8 to go underneath, and the 4 to go over there. I subtract, it all comes out even. I put in a 0. So that tells us that our purchase price equals 40, and our markup, which is 20% of 40, let's just go 40 times 0.2, 0, 8. Here, because there's 1 digit behind the decimal place. So our markup equals 8. And I'll write this again so that I can box it and it will make sense. And I'm checking the answers. 40, I should put a $ sign on that so it is more, it's like putting the units on it, right? And that's correct. All right, so in this example, our markup was based on the purchase price. Now we're going to see one that goes the other way. Okay, I'm going to write my formula again. Selling price equals the purchase price plus the markup. Again, we are the seller, so this is the price that we set. Purchase price reflects what we had to pay to get the merchandise we sell in our store. Okay, the purchase price, let me just write my list first. The purchase price of the item was $1,800. That's what we paid to get it. If the markup is 40% of the selling price, what was the selling price? Okay, so this one is the opposite of the problem we just did. That one was a percentage of the purchase price. This one, it's a percentage of the selling price. Different retailers do it different ways. This is normal. Okay, so using my basic formula, I'm going to say SP equals 1,800 plus 0.4 times the selling price. Now I subtract 0.4. This is just basic algebra. This cancels. This is 1,800. I know I'm working backwards. That's weird. This is an invisible one. That's an SP. Sorry, that looks hard to read. 0.6 SP. Divide by 0.6. Let's do that over here. I know 6 goes into 18, but I want to get these decimal places all correct. I have to jump that once because this is 0.6. I want to make sure you can see the decimal. We bump it one more time over here. I put it right there. 6 into 18 goes 3 times, and then we have 3 zeros. So the selling price we would set would be $3,000. John doesn't ask us to calculate the markup, but let's do that. It's 40% of the selling price, so we would multiply 0.4 times that. So the markup would be $1,200. And look, if we add we get indeed the selling price. So it works. And it's the right answer. Yay. Okay, one more and then we're done with this lesson. Example 101.3. Isn't it so like short, sweet, and to the point? Purchase price, markup. Okay, the sports car retailed for $10,368. Okay, we talked about that on the previous page. Let me just show you again. the word retail is associated with the selling price, okay? Not the purchase price. So, when it says that the sports car retailed for $10,368, we know that's the selling price. Don't you wish you could find a sports car? I mean, I'm assuming it's new. Maybe that's a bad assumption. But $10,000 really? Dates this book, John. It makes us seem old. What was the purchase price if the car had been marked up 8% of the purchase price? Okay, so last time we had the markup as a percent of the selling price. Now we're going back to purchase price, which was how our first one was. We use this formula to drive us, just like before. The selling price, 10,368, equals the purchase price plus. Now the trick here is to make sure we put this in the proper form when we change it to a percent. 8% is 0.08, not 0.8. Common mistake. Okay, so now we have an invisible 1 here. 10,368 equals 1.08 times the purchase price. Hit it with an algebra stick. To do the math on this, 10368 divided by 1.08. Scoot that twice. Scoot that twice. Decimal goes there. Okay, now we have to figure out how many times 108 goes into 103. Well, it's not one full time, so I'm going to guess a 9 right here is going to get the job done. 9 times 8 is 72. Carry the 7. 7 times 9. 9 times 0 is 7. I'm sorry. 9 times 0 is 0, not 7. That's a lie. 9 times 0 is 0 plus 7 equals 7. 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, I lined that one up right because it's hard when you're multiplying by 9. Always blows my mind when I divide, but it's okay. Subtracting 4, that's a 9. 6, and then there's nothing left there. Okay, 640, we bring down the 8. I think 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6. Oh, look, it came out even. Put in 2 more zeros to finish it, and we get that the purchase price equals $9,600. Nice and even. When we got that first number, you probably were like me going, oh, John, what's this division going to look like? But it turned out cute. Here, I can write it in here too, just to complete my chart. And that's the correct answer. Okay, so these problems are based on this super simple formula, and the trick is just stating the markup as a percentage of either purchase price or selling price, and just reading the problem carefully to make sure you use the right number. All right, that is lesson 101. Short, sweet, to the point. Yay 101.